what's weird? The old Bwipo from years ago wasn't this guy at all. He wasn't at all. In fact, I would say if you ever watch me and Bwipo on a show like 5 years ago, Bwipo's actually the guy where he's almost like an eternal optimist. Like, he would never just flat trash talk people. He would always sort of be like, but I actually thought he was a bit long-winded. He'd make like a million sort of like devil's advocate positions, or he'd say, you can't know within their team what the communications are, and maybe that guy had a bad game that day. He was actually a guy where I always thought, both in terms of pro play and especially when he was on solo queue, he actually had like a very good attitude. He almost had an attitude that was like, you don't let yourself tilt in the game, or you don't rage at someone. You find a way to mentally process it and understand that, improvement could come from losses and someone can play better. You do all, essentially, to me, he actually had like a very well-balanced personality. He seemed like a very even-keeled figure. And then what happened was, he then, when he came to this like FlyQuest era, started just trash talking, which is fine, because initially it was just trash talking, like, hey, we're the best, we're on top of the region, if you guys want to be as good as us, you better level up to where we're at, because it's just us at Worlds, and you guys are all fucking bombs. Oh, by the way, did I just beat you in the playoffs? Well, you know what, hit me up, I might just like coach you, little bitch, maybe teach you how to play this game or something. Now look, that works as trash talk. Now, that's some like Conor McGregor shit, it's like, okay, you're doing the whole I'm the champion and I'm better. Basically, it's called, if people don't know, like the hip-hop community, it's called like big brothering someone. You're sort of going like, I'm the big bro here, settle down, I'll tell you how shit goes, and you learn from me, I'll tell you what you can do. That was fine. But the problem is, I always tell people, to me, last year, there was a moment, it was when he actually started exposing all that behind the scenes stuff about Hillsang and like private conversations and making weird allusions about other players. That to me went from being like trash talk to like, I actually think, ignore what he's saying, I actually think there's something wrong with the person saying it. Like, I feel like this isn't him. Like, it seemed to me like the way he was telling those stories about Hillsang almost seemed like he felt like emotionally hurt by something else, and he was trying to like lash out at people, or on his stream, I don't know, maybe he felt like I've had this before. He felt too many fucked up other opinions going in different directions. He felt like, I have to say something. But the problem is, the way it was coming off was really fucked up. So even though the usual circle of people in League, including our shows, would comment on the things that sounded funny or outrageous or whatever ridiculous, like, remember, he made that comment saying like he could guarantee he could like make it to Worlds. I think he said he could. What was the crazy?
He said if he coached any like challenger players, like 5 good challenger players, that he could get them to Worlds within a year.
There you go. Which the problem with that one is, that's going beyond like hyperbolic, braggadocious trash talking to like, that's just delusional. Again, though, you can just dunk on that. It's just a game take. My problem is, it got to the point where I had this feeling, because I've actually known a lot of people who've had mental illnesses in esports. It got to the feeling for me, though, last year, where it was like, I can't laugh at this anymore, though. Because here's what I want to say, Yamato. Eventually, that didn't even become, I'm trash talking other people. It became what I would describe as like a form of self-harm for Bwipo. It's like he was just, like, I would give the example. Imagine if you had a family member who had like some sort of episodes where they weren't themselves, and then during those episodes, imagine if they did stuff with Yamato, like just take off all their clothes at work, or just you're walking around town with them, they're totally normal, they have an episode, and suddenly they scream things at people's faces in the street. You wouldn't just be embarrassed, you'd also be like, I feel really bad for them, like, fuck, we got to get you some help, like, we can't let you just, like, you can't keep going to work, you got to take some time off, or fuck, you got to go see someone, like, something's going on with you. So that's one thing that already worried me last year, bro, was I felt like people didn't do that. People were just like, nah, fuck him, let's get, they were treating him like a fucking ant under a fucking magnifying glass. Let's just torture this motherfucker, lol, look at it. And I thought it got a bit cruel, actually. That's why I said I can't take this as a joke anymore. And I think people have forgotten that whole thing, bro, because in between then, he went back to the trash talk thing. Earlier on, it's fine to do that. But even the trash talk, I think, started to show signs of that this year, this split. Because if you think about it now, I know it's really easy to make a streamer react video and go, what a fucking lunatic. What, he thinks that you're not allowed to eat Korean barbecue after you win a game? Because if people don't know the story, Cloud9 were on paper the other rivals, obviously, because they've got all the really good players, and in scrims they're supposed to be really good. And supposedly Cloud9 had a scrim block where they went 5-0 against FlyQuest, which to them would be a big deal. It's a sign of growth. And basically Bwipo heard, there's a crazy detail, but I'll tell you in a second about that. Maybe you don't even know this update. Bwipo heard that Cloud9, when they won the scrim block 5-0, celebrated by having Korean barbecue. Now, if you're a normal person, you're going to go ... and? But to Bwipo, he was saying that as if it was like, and when they won a 5-0 scrim block, they just retired from the game and thought they'd already accomplished everything. It's like, That's almost the way he was presenting it, bro. He was making it seem like they'd done something like really out there, or they'd even done something unprofessional, or like I still don't even know what the trash talk was, because I would just say this quickly. I haven't heard anyone say this side. Bro, you're in LA. Korean barbecue isn't like having a fucking wedding banquet. You also have 2 Korean players. You know what Koreans, I know it's going to blow your mind, Bwipo. Koreans like to eat Korean food, you fucking idiot. You don't know Korean barbecue in Korea is the cheapest food imaginable. It's not like a fucking, they didn't win the game and immediately pull out champagne bottles of Dom Perignon, pop the cork and start eating the finest beluga caviar and then fucking eat gold afterwards, Bwipo. They just went and had food, Korean barbecue, probably one of the most famous like communal foods to have as well, with Korean people who have to live in America, bro, and they had a good day. So how he took affront to that, I still don't really know. I think it's actually a bit mad. But here's what's mad. And I tell you what, I'll get to it and say, I want to know, what did you think of that? What did you think of when you heard this thing of like they're eating Korean bar? What did you think of it?
No, I thought it was so silly to make that assumption that it was a celebration. it's a big jump to make to say that this is a celebration, because as you said, it could just be, you know, it could just be like, oh, we need to eat, and
It's doing food, isn't it? I know, like, it's so weird.
are you really trying if you're not starving, you know? And also, like, I guess you alluded to it, but it's like Dom was visiting, so they had like that pre-planned, but it's just such a jump, you know? It's like
I forgot that detail. You're right. Dom, their remote analyst, was only visiting for that week. So you can even make the obvious argument, as Dom did, as you're saying, that they just went there because Dom was there. He's not going to be there the rest of the year. So they just want to have, you know, like a basic dinner with their friend. So, which obviously Bwipo obviously didn't consider, unfortunately.
No, I don't know. It's like it's weird because I do think it's like it's tied to the occasions where Bwipo like it comes across as if he feels some responsibility if he's on the best team in the region, because it was like after the FlyQuest win, because it didn't happen like when FlyQuest got second place. There was nothing there. And it seemed like he held on to something super long. Right. And then it was like an unleash. It's like, oh, they finally won the split. He's the best team in the league. And now finally he can like speak on all these things that he thinks that the region is doing wrong in terms of their improvement. And it was almost as if the things that he disagreed with, almost as if he took it personal in a weird way. It's like, oh, this team is not working hard enough. Like, that's fucked up. Like, that's personally hurts me. And the framing in his mind, like looking at C9, like him being in the position with FlyQuest being the best team, it comes across as if almost it would like offended him that they are not trying hard. It's like, oh, you're second place. You should not eat. You should not do anything. You should not rest. It's like you should do things my way. And it's in a weird way. It's like it comes across as if he views it as his responsibility, and he takes offense to anything that goes against how he would do it. But I don't think this is like the actual thought process. I just think this is something that occurs, you know, because that's the only way for me to like read this, because you can do the same thing and come across in a joking manner, you know, like you can come across and deliver that as a meme, and I do think that Bwipo in most cases is capable of doing that. You know, it's like being playful. He could have said
the same thing, but he didn't. It didn't seem like it was fun when he said it. I know what you mean. It seemed like he was. I know what you mean. Hey, you've nailed it. Actually, it wasn't even what he said or the premise. It was that he seemed butthurt, almost as though like it's his job to be the coach of C9 or something weird like that. Which is like, what? I know what you mean. You could have just made that like. By the way, the fun way to do that would be like, oh, I hope you guys enjoyed the Korean barbecue because you're the one who's going to get burned in the fire. You know, you could do some shit like that. You could have some fun. I know what you mean. But by the way, there's a couple of details here. One is I actually, in general, Yamato, that is one of my biggest pet peeves when pleb fans do it. Everyone will have heard this. You know, when a player, let's say, does anything, mate, they do a fucking media appearance, they say something on Twitter someone doesn't like. If you're not the number one one player or team, there's a moron fan will go, hey, how about you stop tweeting and try and get better at the game? It's like, oh, that's not the way time allocation works. He's not actually sitting down going, I could practice 2 hours more, but wait, instead of 2 hours practice, I will send this tweet for 30 seconds. Send. Like, you're just an idiot when you say that. You sound like the person for real who does that whole, like, they can put a bloody man on the moon, but this can of beans is really hard to open. Yeah, the NASA scientists aren't working on the can of beans, you fucking imbecile. They don't get $80 million a day to work on the can of beans. It's a totally unrelated form of technology that has no connection to the moon missions, does it? Like, they don't go, this can of beans opens real smooth thanks to the Apollo 13. Give me your fucking break. So anyway, I always hit that anyway, you matter, because unfortunately it's a really common sort of fan cognitive dissonance to do that. But the other one is this. There's a detail I don't know if you're aware, because you would actually only find this if you watched more Bwipo's stream. Are you ready? I haven't heard anyone else say this. Did you know Bwipo later admitted someone within FlyQuest told him he never even had the direct info, bro. He says he admitted himself on stream. Correct me if I'm wrong, people who watch the stream. Bwipo admitted on stream that he later found out one of his, I think it was a teammate or a coach, has told Bwipo that detail just to hype him up, and it wasn't even true. Like, it was true they went for the green barbecue or whatever, but as far as I know, like, he himself said something like, and I was even told something weird like that, or maybe it was like a Dhokla angle, whatever it was, there was something to do with when Rip was offended, where later he even said that. So here's the thing, I don't even totally hate that, Yamato, because it doesn't everyone on The Last Dance love the idea that Michael Jordan took it personally? Like, you all vibe with that when it's the best person. You all think it's cool. Because, by the way, I do in a way. Like, in a fucked up sense, if you are, like, really good, it is hard to motivate yourself every game. You motivate yourself against, your main rivals and to win, but to play awesome every single match. That's why even if Michael Jordan can't do that, he has to find some angle of, like, oh, this up-and-coming player thinks he's as good as me. Right, I'm going to prove he's not today. Ooh, this guy, last time he played us, they got an upset win, and he said something a bit cocky. I'm show him today. That's actually clever, because what Michael Jordan's doing there is it's not even about you or the public. Look, he's given us a show, but really he's doing it for himself, isn't he? He's trying to keep himself motivated. He's trying to make sure that for him, it is personal. He has to really care about it. That part I don't mind. I don't even mind the idea a FlyQuest person did it. But it is a bit dark if it's like, so Bwipo, you're going mad saying things publicly. I might even beat the case. What are you talking about, mate? What are you talking about? Did you hear that? Has anyone else heard that? I haven't seen it on anyone else's channel.
Oh, I realized that he just got the information from somewhere, but I didn't know if it was like a pre-game thing or like a pre-game type hype up thing.
Apparently, in the winner's interview with the finals, he said that it was one of the coaches. Actually, he was on stage. It was when he was with the Kangas guy, I think, or whatever. Apparently, one of his coaches is the one who said that to him.
It's like I'm with you on the psyching yourself up, because it's like hyper competitive people. It's like you're gonna have like an eccentric bunch. Like that's just it's like people are gonna be extremely unique and strange and like the opposite of normal. It's like
Piglet did that famous thing where him and Imp had that rivalry, and so then Imp said, did you see Piglet cry? And everyone in the West was like, holy fuck, is this guy like a psychopath or something? No, that's like his version of that, bro. His version of that shit was like, oh wait, Piglet was like the champion before, well then I have to prove I'm better than him, and in fact I even want to like make him suffer. Like, I know what you mean, like that might sound fucked up, but you have to be a somewhat extreme fucked up person to want to be on the best in the whole world at video games and play them 10 hours a day. You're not going to be a normal bloke who just chill, are you?
No, 100%. And it's like the whole saga of him like flaming C9 with the whole barbecue thing and him getting pissed off and, maybe not nailing the delivery, or him like flaming Dhokla for like out of nowhere, like just fucking flaming him. It's like all of these things, it's like you can break them down and make an opinion whether you like it or not. But it's like in the grand scheme of things, these are like, like people say this shit all the time. It's like when it comes to like competition and people want trash talk and people want to, it's like it doesn't get to the point where people should only be allowed to do trash talk that you would like. Because the point is, people are supposed to get pissed off. People are supposed to dislike people that do trash talk. It's like sometimes it crosses that boundary. Like you can have a personal opinion about, this thing is shit. This is so shitty and untrue. But it's like that's a part of the beef, It's like we want to make the example of like rap battles, It's like when Nas dropped Ether, It's like it was what it was, It's like he dropped some exaggerations in there and he dropped some lies in there, It's just a part of the game, and it's like whether you like it or not, that's up to you. It's like it's not, at least in this conversation, there is not like some big moral thing that is being crossed. It's like either you maybe you're an asshole in the way you come across, but that's a part of the game, you know? And if your conclusion is Bwipo's an asshole for what he said about C9 and Dhokla and, for example, out-dominate, like, Dom was fucking pissed. Like, he fucking doesn't like Bwipo anymore. That's fair, you know? That's fair game. That's a part of the game then. That's, if you're in the kitchen, that's the heat, you know?
Yes. No, and then the other thing, obviously, was this Dhokla angle. Is, that's the one, by the way, where, like, the fact he took the barbecue one personally is already a little bit weird. It's a little bit of a red flag, like I say, of like, is he having some sort of problems like last year? The Dhokla one for me, even before he got to the women's shit, already showed me like, Bwipo's got something wrong. Like, as in something's going on in him, like with him personally, that's affected him somehow. Because I'm sorry, I've still yet to see what Dhokla's done that offends him. So as far as I can tell, him existing offends him, bro. I don't get it, mate. I actually still don't get what we're like, and then even the idea of this is one thing I'll never understand. We had this already happen in the LEC this year, Yamato. Do you remember in the winter split when they had that match where Fnatic beat MCoy and Super wanted to shake hands like you do down the line, but because Upset said privately he'd trash talked me, Upset just didn't want to do it. And then Super got mad. But I always thought, wait a minute, Super, you can't get mad there, mate. Like, if you've done the trash talk, that's fine, by the way. It's also then fine for him to go, because you trash talked me and I just beat you. I don't want to shake your hand. So I don't have any problem with Dhokla not wanting to, like, fucking I don't know why if you Bwipo, like, who are you, mate, the King of England? Why does he have to shake your hand, mate? I agree. In theory, I'm different. I do think for sponsorship reasons, I would typically probably shake everyone's hand. But here's the difference. I might shake your hand and then lean in and say some shit about you trash talking me, but that's because I'm different. If this person's thing is I just don't want to engage. In fact, I've played the game. I even lost to you in this case because of Dhokla, by the way. Why do I have to fucking pretend I like you or I respect you? Maybe I don't respect you. Because that one to me, again, some of it's just trash talk. But like I said, the question for me is why though? That's not even like fun trash talk. Like, again, you are trashing on a guy where I thought Dom made this case very well. Bro, Dhokla is actually every kind of player in theory that people like Bwipo say they want in the league. This is an NA player who struggled through the fucking hard times because he had like that not that great start on Optic where they threw him in the deep end. He was just one of those players where he went to your academy. And I always used to say the academy system was a disgrace. It's the reason why I didn't care about that NACL shit, mate, and them all not having academy teams. Because they didn't use academies to develop awesome players and then bring them up. What they did is they actually just sat on a bunch of players in academy and you'd have this nightmare elo health set of players. You would have players that were like fucking Parlofox and fucking Dhokla and I can't remember the name.
Zazel or whatever.
I'm trying to think of the other one. Even Zion Spartan, Darshan, there you go. You'd have a bunch of players who in the academy were the top players. But because they'd already been in LCS, the perspective was no one was ever going to pick them up because everyone would go, oh, I already know that guy. It's like Checolad in the LEC. It doesn't matter how well Checolad plays now, you'll never be in LEC again, bro. Because everyone's assumption is, I already know who you are, you failed, and why would I try on you when I could try on someone new? So the idea Dhokla went through that, didn't quit. By the way, most of those other names I've said, the Darshans of the world, got really dispirited eventually and just quit when they knew they couldn't get through. Same with, I think, fucking, I think I did an interview with someone else who had this recently. Who would it be? I think who he had it at the end or something. It's been a bunch of people this has happened to. So, like in that scenario, I have mad respect for Dhokla battling through all that, essentially climbing out the fucking Bane pit, and then he finally gets out. And remember, he went to that team, bro. That NRG team wasn't even good. Like, that roster wasn't supposed to do anything at all, and they were fucking won the LCS. And then he went to Worlds, and then they were actually doing things at Worlds. Like, mate, if you could look at that and go, the guy's a fucking bomb, it's like, you're just a hater. Like, what are you here to? And by the way, he's done it again now. Now he also, that team failed after that, Yamato, and then went downhill, and most of those players are irrelevant now. And then Dhokla had to bide his time and wait until he finally got this chance now in this team to get inserted and come alive. And he's made 100 Thieves go from irrelevant team that had no chance to make Worlds, etc., to they're upsetting the Cloud9 super team and having all these awesome... Bro, what's there to hate on? If you're Bwipo, he's doing everything you want. He's persevering, he's trying, he's leveling up, he's figured out his role in the team. Like, that's what I mean. To me, that suggests it's more about you than him, Bwipo. I don't know what's offended. What offended? Am I missing something? What offends him about Dhokla? What's Dhokla done wrong?
It does. The strange aspect of it, I agree with you, that part that it's just so... Like it sounds more like Bwipo would praise someone that does this rather than the other way around.
I thought so.
And I wonder if it's just tied to because like everyone noticed like 100 Thieves resurgence, and Dhokla is getting a lot of praise, deservedly so. And maybe it's a condition where he thinks it's like misplaced, and he sees him for who he is in the game, and he doesn't think like Dhokla is like the strongest laner or something, because obviously Dhokla is not like in his best shape, but he's very solid and he makes the game more streamlined for his team. And usually I know with pro players, they don't appreciate players like that, you know, like players that are just role players on teams and just bring stability, because Sniper brought like the opposite of that. And 100 Thieves obviously were allowed to enact their playstyle a lot more active, because everyone knows like River and Quid were doing like mostly of the carrying, but it didn't work in the previous dynamic, and that change up made such a big impact. And I wonder if it's through that. It's like Bwipo sees Dhokla getting praise a lot, and he judges him for the player that he is in the game and thinks that it's like misplaced. But here I'm just speculating wild.
We have no other explanation, so you have to come up with something, mate. Yeah, you've got to speculate. That's all we can do.
It was like the Hawks, man. This guy, he fought, and in the end, it's like the NRG run was very solid. I think that was like he was a very important part of that. I remember like his Rumble was like one of the best ones I had seen. It was up there in the top heap, and I do think it's like from knowing and working with Bwipo, it's like you know, it's like he says what he thinks, but if he's allowed to think longer, he would think differently, you know? And sometimes it's like when you rush to get your thoughts out and you allow people to enter your train of thought real time, because you're saying it out loud over and over again, you know, this is where you can like misstep, you know? Because I would know if I sat down and spoke to Bwipo, we had a conversation about Dhokla's career, he would say all the right things. I know this, you know? But if you like catch on the wrong moment and there's the train of thought, it just goes in a direction and he just follows through all the way to it to just explore that thought and where it takes him. But if you speak to him and you know how to guide him, and you know that through knowing him that he holds certain like opinions about certain things, you know? Because sometimes I remember like when I worked with him, sometimes we just like I recognize there was a pattern. It's like we would just argue to just follow a train of thought all the way till the end, even though I'm like, well, what am I arguing against here? And then in the end, he would like agree, but it was just like following through a train of thought that I knew was like, what the hell? What the fuck are we going? This is pointless. But he just followed through on it, you know. And then in the end, it's like you recognize how to kind of navigate that. But that's also like where Bwipo's creativity as a player comes through. Someone can bring him a thought. It's like, what do you think about this champion nobody plays? Then he sits there and like ponders and thinks about it and goes on these long tangents and chain of thought. And he would explore it like completely. And maybe it's a waste of time. Maybe it isn't. But it's also a part of what makes Bwipo special as a player. And it comes back to the initial point. It's like, yeah, the best players are very, very eccentric. It's very rare that you're going to have like someone like a Roger Federer or someone that just like plays the game, doesn't say anything, is like really, really, you know, chilling, whatever, you know, like that's very rare. It's like usually you have like these eccentric guys, you know?
If you even look at the trash talks, if people don't know, he was even doing the thing where, I've always said this, I don't personally hate if you trash talk a bit after the game, but in my opinion, that should be more for the fans and the show. In my opinion, the real trash talk should always be before the game. That way you have a chance to be proven wrong or for the other person to perform well. Because if you just do it once you beat them, like then they haven't got any chance to do anything in the game. That's what half the fun is, like knowing the presence of the trash talk before the match and how that'll affect the game. And then when someone does a solo kill, you know, that's what you want. So my problem again is he again trash talked him after the game. He did a tweet, if people pull it up, after the finals, where he said, 100 Thieves played great today. Happy to get my first finals MVP and would have happily celebrated Dhokla returning to form and gapping me in 2 out of 4 games. So already, I'll give him credit. Even though he did just say, I would have celebrated him, but I'm not going to. In a way, he sort of did. He sort of just admitted he got gapped in 2 of the games. Just, by the way, you don't have to do that when you've won and you're the more famous player. I'll give him minor credit there. But then here's the problem. That sentence didn't end him out. It said, but we're pretending getting called out for placing 5th on average is not poor performance. Confident he'll get a rematch, so good luck there. Right, here's the obvious first thing I'm going to say. That's really gross to me for this reason, Yamato. Because the implication there is that if Dhokla on average finishes 5th, that represents who Dhokla is and how good Dhokla is at League of Legends. And by implication, otherwise it wouldn't make sense, to trash talk him, Bwipo's saying, I don't on average finish 5th. I'm a guy who, makes like deep runs in the playoffs and is in the finals and now I win championships. That's because your teams are about 10 times better than Dhokla's. What's stupid about this, by the way, is forget the placing thing, you idiot. You are obviously better than Dhokla. You can just say, regardless of any match result, you are a better top laner than Dhokla and have a better career resume. That is totally true. I mean, even individually, bro. The problem I have is this, even though it wouldn't matter, like it's not like Dhokla would have had the same success Bwipo did with his teams, but Bwipo's teams are like 10 times better. He walked into what some people think is the second best European team ever in history and even didn't have to play all the time. He was the sub understudy to Soaz and eventually got integrated for exactly his strengths on certain champions and style of play. Then after that, he had some amazing fanatical lineups. Basically, it was actually only your first one with them that was the scoffed one. And even then, by the way, that was like scoffed in some LPL sense, where it's like, mate, if scoffed is I have self-made and then later on I have fucking Adama, these aren't terrible players. These are people with talent and prospects and some like decent performers. And then after that, he was on a Team Liquid Super Team. By the way, am I missing something? You played on a Team Liquid Super Team with Bjergsen where everyone's paid millions of dollars, completely failed, and what, did we just delete that, bro? By your own Dhokla logic, you're a fucking bomb. You had all these great players called JJ. They only don't win with you, motherfucker. Like, you were on one of the most expensive teams ever. Then you come to FlyQuest. I'm sorry. I'll give you this. FlyQuest bottom lane were inexperienced and nobody's. Even the first FlyQuest lineup was fucking Jensen and inspired. Like, these are people who've done worlds already, for fuck's sake. They've been like champions. And then in this particular case, now, when you're getting quad, mate, you have a fucking really good roster. You have the only roster I think can even contend in the region is not, it's certainly not Team Liquid, it's just the Cloud9 roster, that's it. And that's if you really imagine all the best of the Cloud9 players. If you're Bwipo, like, mate, you are a guy living in a mansion in Beverly Hills, talking to a guy who scraped his way out of the ghetto, and then you're like, you spent most of your life in the fucking ghetto. You must be a fucking bitch. I was sleeping on silk cushions every night. It's like, what the fuck has that got to do with his life? What is the trash talk even? Like, again, this is why I don't get how he's going to later pretend, because he did another tweet about how he'd persevered in his career and gone through TCL, all the shit literally from the last decade, by the way, not even anything recent. It's like, bro, which is it? Do you respect grinding and hustling? Because if you do, you have to respect Dhokla, I'm sorry. Or are you an elitist? In which case, why are you bringing up your person? Because I think Bwipo, once he became pro in LEC, I admit, to get there was hard. Once he became an LEC, which, by the way, we're talking like 7 years ago now, he's had a fucking awesome run of teams, mate. He's had some really amazing teammates. I'm sorry, with some of the teammates he has, you almost couldn't finish 5th place. You're just too fucking stacked. Like, all your teammates are like all pro, etc. What did you think of that detail? Again, this tweet just doesn't make coherent sense to me, bro. You've made some good points. Like, you've trash-talked Dhokla a little bit, but the angle you're trash-talking him on is that he placed 5th on average in his teams. Like, what? What's the angle? Give me it. Come on, what do you think?
It's like the... It's weird because the trash talk is like similar to how almost a politician would like just frame things,
Okay.
Where there's like, it's like, it could be true, but that is like the worst version of it all. Yes. That you're just like painting.
Yeah.
Like you're like, it's like a fallacy in itself. It's like you're doing the worst assumption.
You spun it.
Yeah. It's like, this is not like a politician's work. Something happens and it's like, oh, this is their fault and we need to do this. We need to reform this to do this.
Anyway, it's like, see, this thing here that's totally unrelated is exactly what I always say needs to happen. I know that's a go-to move, isn't it? Yeah.
Because that's what this trash talk is, It's like... Yes. It's not like playful. It's not like there is. It's like if you dig a little bit, there's like very little truth to it too. And there's other angles to go with, and usually like Bwipo has been good. It's usually good with being playful, It's like, I think the GOAT of trash talk will always be Wunder, because Wunder, he could laugh at himself, which is crucial, really, really crucial. He could laugh at himself, and he always did it before the game.
Yeah. Remember when he was implying before the World's Finals that they were going to like easily beat FPX or something?
Yeah.
That I agree. That's trash talk, man. That is next level shit. Yeah.
Like Wunder always like read the room so damn well. It's like even like when he's celebrating on stage after he beat T1 and MSI, he's like, "We have a free win in the final. We're gonna." And then he tweeted before. It's like, "This is going to be the fastest international best of 5 in history." And then
it is so underrated that he called that and it happened. Everyone forgets that detail, bro. Everyone remembers it was the fastest. No, the bro actually called, like Babe Ruth, he was like, "I'm going to hit the home run there." Exactly there. That's fucking unbelievable, isn't it? That is God tier trash talk, yeah.
It's like Mystic Mac level. It's like, "I'm going to knock him out in the first round. He's gonna flinch. I saw something the way he postured." It's like that's the level. There's nothing comparable. It's just because that's how you do it. It's like when Wunder ate shit, he also ate shit. Like he didn't mind, and I think that playfulness is super crucial if you want to win over everybody, because who can hate that, you know? But if you take this angle, you know, of like trying to like the back alley, you know, stabbing version of trash talk, like people are gonna dislike that. And if that's what you're pulling for, sure. But I don't see Bwipo as that person. I've never seen Bwipo as that person. You know, that's why it's so strange.
And then we will move to the more sensitive part, but I will say one last thing about the Dhokla thing, which goes like this. The other reason I don't get the trash talk is, bro, Dhokla was never supposed to ever play you in the finals. It was supposed to, remember, even if we take aside Cloud9's failure, it was supposed to be Shopify Rebellion that was going to be the other team in the finals. Like 100 Thieves have done like the miracle lower bracket run where they've like leveled up throughout the thing. The fact that he can even get to the finals as not even an original starting player, and then you yourself admit you had good games against you, the theory the best top laner in the whole region, like, surely he has to get props for that. Come on, mate. You know what I mean? Like, and as I say, I don't blame Dhokla at all for just thinking, fuck this guy. Well, I'll lose to him and this fuck's going to talk shit. But I'm not going to shake your hand as well, am I? You can fuck off with that one. You shove that up your ass. So, okay, now let's go to the part that's a bit trickier. But luckily, here's what I've learned over the years, Yamato. Believe it or not, some of the things that got me in trouble in the past were just that I was saying them on Twitter. This might seem obvious to everyone else, but it wasn't to me at the time. Because back in the day, maybe you know this, 10 years ago, Twitter it's all the internet was like this. There wasn't these algorithms. In fact, there wasn't a For You page on Twitter back then. So famously, back then, in the same way as on YouTube, you didn't go on the front page. What you did on YouTube, everyone knows this, is on YouTube, you would go and you'd click your subscriptions button, wouldn't you? And that's all the channels you're subscribed to. And then what you'd see is it present you the most recent videos from all your subscriptions. So if you subscribe to a particular football channel, ASMR channel, League of Legends highlights channel, Thorin's esports channel, you see the latest video. And if that topic interests you, you click it. And so actually back then, social media and content platforms were about building your subscriber base, because then your subscribers see what you put out. So what it meant about social media, as a very quick wrap up, is this. Social media used to be people who follow you because they're interested in what you say. Like something like 6-7 years ago, even before the For You page, social media became about these algorithms and the front page aspect anyway, where it became about not, oh, I follow someone, so I'm interested in what they say. It became about who's the one person today that's talking about this topic that I hate what their take is. And then everyone who hates you, like a magnet, like a moth to a flame, is just attracted to you instantly. And then they all just mob you and go crazy. And that's why Twitter became really toxic. It just became like, for a whole week, there'll be people eventually, if your tweet gets out of like containment, who won't even be from esports, bro. They're just hearing some vague thing. Hey, it's just that guy that said that. And then they're just fucking hating on you. And it became really fucked up. So what I had to learn about the meta of Twitter is this. There are certain things that if they require a lot of nuance to understand, don't do it on Twitter. So I don't tweet about topics like the one that Bwipo did now, because it's really easy for people to like not know what you mean by that. But in this particular case, right, so I actually haven't commented on this topic, but I'm going to comment on it now, because I actually think if you do it in a video, though, you can actually break down the nuance more and you can make your case better and you have time to explain yourself. See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.